Hi, welcome to our class. Today we will discuss factoring polynomials with common monomial factor. Before this lesson you should be familiar with finding the GCF of monomials. The GCF or greatest common factor of two or more monomials is the product of all their common prime factors. For example, the GCF of 12x raised to 5 and 8x squared is 4x squared. Simply write the complete factorization of each monomial and find the common factors. The product of all the common factors will be the GCF. Notice that each monomial has two factors of 2, and two factors of x. Therefore, the greatest common factor of the monomials is 2 times 2, times x, or 4x squared. In this lesson, you will learn how to factor out common factors from polynomials. To understand how to factor out common factors, we must understand the distributive property. For example, we can use the distributive property to find the product of 5x squared and 3x plus 2. Notice how each term in the binomial was multiplied by a common factor of 5x squared. However, because the distributive property is an equality, the reverse of this process is also true. If we start with 5x squared times 3x, plus 5x squared times 2, we can use the distributive property to factor out 5x squared and obtain 5x squared times 3x plus 2. The resulting expression is in factored form, because it is written as a product of two polynomials, whereas the original expression is a two-termed sum. The process of writing polynomials as a product of polynomials is called factorization. Factoring polynomials is the inverse of finding products of polynomials. The first type of polynomials which can be factored are polynomials whose terms have a common monomial factor. To factor the GCF out of a polynomial, we do the following. 1. Find the GCF of all the terms in the polynomial. 2. Express each term as a product of the GCF and another factor. 3. Use the distributive property to factor out the GCF. Example 1, let us factor 5x squared minus 10x. Step 1, find the GCF. 5x squared equals 5 times x, and 10x equals 5 times 2, times x. So, the GCF of 5x squared minus 10x is 5 times x, or 5x. Step 2, express each term as a product of 5x and another factor. So, the polynomial can be written as 5x squared minus 10x equals 5x times x minus 5x times 2. Step 3, factor out the GCF. Now we can apply the distributive property to factor out 5x. 5x times x minus 5x times 2 equals 5x times x minus 2. Therefore, the polynomial 5x squared minus 10x can be factored as 5x times x minus 2. We can check if the factored form is correct by multiplying 5x and x minus 2. Since this is the same as the given polynomial, then the factored form is correct. If you feel comfortable with the process of factoring out the GCF, you can use a faster method. Once we know the GCF, the factored form is simply the product of that GCF and the sum of the terms in the original polynomial divided by the GCF. See for example, how we use another method in factoring 6x raised to 3, minus 4x squared plus 10x. Step 1. Determine the greatest common factor of the given terms. The GCF of 6x raised to 3, minus 4x squared plus 10x is 2x. Step 2. Divide each term of the polynomial by the GCF. 6x raised to 3, minus 4x squared plus 10x divided by 2x, is 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. Therefore, the factored form of 6x raised to 3, minus 4x squared plus 10x is 2x times 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. Now, it's your turn to factor the following polynomials. What is the factored form of 9x squared minus 21x? I will be back, after a few seconds, to check your answer. The correct answer is 3x times 3x minus 7. Good job if you got it correctly. Let's have the next polynomial. Factor 8x raised to 7, minus 24x raised to 6, minus 12x raised to 5. Are you ready with your answer? The answer is 4x raised to 5, times 2x squared minus 6x, minus 3. Congratulations if you got the right answer. For the last example, factor 22x raised to 5y raised to 7, minus 14x cubed y raised to 8, plus 18x cubed y cubed. Are you ready with your answer? The right answer is 2x cubed y cubed times 11x squared y raised to 4, minus 7y raised to 5, plus 9. Good job. I hope you learned something new today. Until next time. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. God bless.